What's up, guys? It's Rick again, and today we're talking about how to get rich right now, wholesaling real estate. I am so tired of the trendy post. Oh my God, we're having a recession. What am I going to do? Honestly, guys, if you're getting information from anybody, guru, coach, human being, whatever it is, and they're freaking you out on this recession, run, guys. Like, run, seriously. I'm going to break it down today. What the heck's actually going on? I'm just going to give you the facts on it. And then honestly, we are going to break down and actually show you how to thrive during even a slightly down market. And I'm here to tell you guys, you're fine. It's nothing but hype. It's so ridiculous. Guys, I've been doing this 21 years. I remember a little time back in 2008, 2009, and that was a different time. But honestly, it was the best gift God could have ever given to me. I'm going to walk you through the lessons I learned then, because I am not just going to talk about what happens during rough economic times. I'm actually going to give you the blueprint of what I did, and you can just literally copy it. Now, I want you to ask yourself, whenever you get instructions from someone on the internet, have they actually survived a recession or done anything like that? And the resounding answer is an absolute hard no. And if you understand that, you know how to do this. So let's jump into it. And if you have a comment, guys, welcome yourselves to the comments. Put your name, what market you're in. And if you have a question, put it on there. We got a lot to go through today, because I'm tired of these fluff piece, whatever. Let's get into it. Let's just show you how it's really done. Because most of the videos I see, they're just talking endless circles about don't be scared. Just do it. It sounds like a freaking Nike commercial. So if you guys are seeing posts like this, it's the end of the world. Oh my God, a recession. Oh my God, don't look at the stock market. Guys, I've been on this planet long enough to know you can't think like the average person and be successful in wholesaling. And if you are freaked out, number one, stop watching the news. Number two, stop watching gurus that don't actually wholesale. How do I know they don't actually wholesale? Because they just teach endless courses and they have huge price tags on them. That is their revenue stream. It's the truth. I know gurus hate when I say it. It's just the truth. Let's just admit it. It's so much easier when we admit the truth. And honestly, it is easier to flip students through a course than it is actually flipping wholesale real estate deals. But to me, I'm not going to say it's an ethics thing. I just think, honestly, they've made it so like simple, like the marketing terminology. So I don't want to hang on that. If you are watching Into the World or like, oh my God, the recession, here's what I want you to understand. If I can drive home one point in this video, I want you to understand this. And I do give credit for people that can do this. I want you to read this on the bottom of the screen right here. I've made millions in the last recession, strictly wholesaling real estate. I didn't say I flipped and fixed homes. I didn't say I developed syndications to do all this stuff. I sure the heck didn't do novations. I sure didn't survive with creative financing. In fact, my creative financing, I had to take a huge bite of humble pie and give them back. Guys, the reality is, whoever you're going to take advice on, make sure they were wholesaling during the last recession. And just so you know, so we're very clear on when the last recession was. I want you to understand this. It was 2008, 2009. Most of the people that are yapping on the internet weren't even wholesaling then. But now they're going to magically tell you how to fix everything during a recession. Here's the funny part, guys. If you do wholesaling correctly, you don't fix anything. You just make slight adjustments. These people telling you to do massive changes, they're not wholesaling today. If they're wholesaling, tell them to post checks of deals they're doing today. Now, once again, my statement on the bottom, before I do the rest of this, I've made millions in the last recession wholesaling real estate. I didn't do novations. I didn't do creative financing. I just assigned contracts. So you know it's the tried and true way. I know it gets a lot of pressures, mostly from gurus trying to scare the crap out of you. And you guys have the same tactic being shoved down your mouth. Whatever. Stock market had a bad day. It had a bad week. If you've ever been in the stock market for any length of time, there's highs and lows, just like in real estate. Real estate's a little bit different of an animal. But you've got to understand this line right here, guys. If you're going to take advice from someone who's never, ever been in a downturn, they are 100% guessing. Why do I know? Because I've watched the videos. They're nothing but fluff pieces. And then they're going to give you the latest trick, the latest technique to fix it. I'm here to tell you, you got to go old school when the economy hits rock bottom. Now, I think people are way over panicked. I think it is way too premature to say that. And even the economists, the statistics guys, there's a 25% chance of a probability. I don't know about you, but like when I go out in the weather, especially in the summer in Florida, it's 50-50. It's going to rain. What does that mean? I have no idea if it's going to rain. It's probably going to rain. 25%. I kind of like those numbers. But once again, I take care of my business, which is wholesaling. And that's what we're here to do today. So if you understand this statement right here, I want to make sure you take advice from someone who has survived a recession, because in my opinion, there's less than a handful of people in all of the influence space that have actually done it. You know it's true. It doesn't mean they're wrong, but like when they start giving you, this is what I would do, it means watch what they say, but ignore what they do. There's people who have recently posted in 2022 and 23, they got killed in wholesaling. You can't get killed in wholesaling. It means you don't know what you're doing. How do you get killed in the wholesaling assigning contracts? It's literally impossible. What happens is they get out of their wholesaling lane and they just think they're developers. They think they're fix and flippers. And trust me, those are all legitimate businesses. I don't teach that. Do I still do it on the side? Yeah, but it's not a full-time gig. I hate fix and flip. It is the land of the unknown. There are variables that you don't control. So understand this statement. Let's move forward. Now, what I want to do is play a little game with you, because I feel like we got to entertain this value and we need to do this. So I decided, like, let's talk about myths, logical myths. So what was the game? So this, I'll show you my age. All we had was Atari back then, maybe a little Intel, but we had games, Dungeons and Dragons. Now only the nerdy kids played them. I never understood it, but man, did they get into this. There was like myths and then there was truths. I only focus on truths, but I love to hear all the myths I hear in wholesaling. So I'm just going to, the first one, wholesaling is going to be illegal and you can't do it. And you've got to follow my technique. And guys, it's never going to be illegal. Understand the assignment of contract is a legal right granted to you by the federal government for our Constitution. Now, states run it over and trample on it. Absolutely. We all agree on that. But if you're going to run every time somebody writes a restriction or a statute, let me ask you, do you ever switch lanes without your turn signal? You can go to jail. Like, these comments are ridiculous. And so what I want you to do is educate yourself and read, because on a daily basis, I have to unwind a lot of people's myths and conceptions. So I'm giving you an example. So let's start with the first myth. You ready? Yeah. Oh my God, a recession's coming. Is it bad for wholesaling? Guys, I don't care if it's pouring, if it's snowing. I don't care if there's 200-mile-an-hour winds. Wholesaling survives all markets, period. Real estate agents, fix and flippers, and people that do creative strategies that try to avoid wholesaling, guess what? It's really bad when a recession comes, because that's right, you, the wholesaler, lock down your pocketbook and go, you know what? I can't afford all these luxury items that I thought were going to get me somewhere. They got me nowhere. And I'm just going to dig in and actually do wholesaling. It freaks them out because you actually stop buying into their crap. Number two, fix and flippers, they have to do something in the future. Wholesaling is about being in the present. So is recession bad for wholesaling? Absolutely not. It doesn't matter. I like moving markets. Moving markets requires people to make decisions. The more decisions that are made, the more opportunities that are created. And that's why we all love wholesaling. So many, if you guys truly do wholesaling, we deal with today's value. We don't look 6 and 12 months. Do we have to anticipate it? Yes. Fix and flippers, you got issues coming. Like I'm just saying, it is a different type of business because there's variables that you don't control as a fix and flipper. You know what, as a wholesaler, as challenging as our business can be, and trust me, there's headwinds on like how much work you have to do. But at the end of the day, only you are in control. You choose the property you buy, you choose the cash buyer that's going to do it, and you choose your assignment fee. Did I tell you that the market conditions to it? No. If market conditions pull back, we just reduce our prices. Remember, we're trying to minimize risk and maximize reward. So what you've got to understand, the truth in this legend about is a recession bad for wholesaling? The truth is it's bad for ROI, return on investment. And who does that affect? It don't affect a wholesaler. Fix and flipper, nightmare. Novation, nightmare. Creative financing, all of a sudden, you guys hung everything on that 3% interest rates. And by the way, if you only focus on interest rate and creative financing, you don't understand the power of creative financing. Now, for the record, I love creative financing. I love anyone who thinks out of the box. I think it is just a gift. And I'm never going to knock anyone who does creative financing. My challenge with creative financing is when you use it as an alternative to wholesaling, I think that's the wrong move. It's my opinion. I'm entitled to it. I did that when I first started. And so I bought 6 creative financing deals, low interest rates, great cash flow. Nobody told me that rents were going to go back 60 to 70%. And it happened to me. I got caught upside down. I thought having $30,000 or $40,000 was a lot of money back then. And it didn't last 8 months. And I had to hire a lawyer, help me work through it. So I know there is a downside to creative financing. There's a lot of headwinds with the legalities of doing a subject to. And I'm not here to discuss that, but I'm just here to tell you, when there's a recession, the problem is everybody pulls back. So when they pull back as a wholesaler, I just lower my prices or I go find more motivated sellers. If I own a property, like through a creative financing, or I own a rental, or I'm doing a fix and flip, I am in the complete control of what the market will give me. And I hate that part of the business. Sometimes it works for us. Sometimes it works against us. That's why I don't want you, if you want to be a wholesaler, a lot of people gravitate and try to do the fix and flip on their own. And I'm telling you, I did this. And it is a entirely different type of skill set. And you have to concede to what the Federal Reserve sets the interest rates at, and you have to perceive what the inventory in the market is. And the problem is you got to look 6 to 12 months out and ahead. So unless you're an absolute wizard, that is the risk of doing that business. Now, if you got deep pockets and you want to do it and it fulfills you, knock yourself out. If you want to start out doing it, the learning curve is extremely high. That's why it eats people up. This is why I prefer wholesaling. So now I'm going to give you another myth. I've already kind of gone over this. This just drives me nuts. Everybody kind of goes on the internet and goes, I'm going to show you how to survive a recession. Hey, have you ever been through a recession? Yeah, I have, but I didn't wholesale. And then like a lot of people felt like the whole pandemic was like a mini recession. No, it was a boom in real estate. The opposite happened. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I never saw it was going to happen. So what have I learned? I cannot predict the future. I'm not going to tell you if there's a recession. I have no idea. Only the market can tell you that. I can't tell you. A guru can't tell you. Warren Buffett can't tell you. Unless he pulls $95 billion out of Apple, but I'm sure he's got insiders much better than you and me have. So that doesn't really help when we do it. So here's the next myth. A guru knows Gurus know how to thrive during recessions. You better make sure you vet that process. Now, there are some out there that have, I'll give them credit. Anybody who could be in the wholesaling game 20 years plus, my hat's off to you because you're a survivor. The reality is most of the people you see on the internet that are telling you what to do and how to thrive, and these are the same people that came up with all the courses on how to be a dispo specialist and be the middleman between the wholesaler and the cash buyer. They also taught you how to do novations. They taught you all these little secrets, everything but wholesaling. And then they told you wholesaling is going to be illegal. And here we are. They're telling you exactly how to navigate through a recession. Let me ask you this. If you ever hired a boat captain, do you want the kid fresh out of school? Or do you want the guy who's been through a few storms? I'm telling you, dude, I've been through a lot of storms. I got my butt kicked. And the only time I ever got my butt kicked in real estate is when I left wholesaling. I never said wholesaling is easy, but to me, it is the best path forward to really free yourself financially and free yourself of your time. Once you get that freedom, if you choose to do other paths, I bless you. But I'm telling you in the beginning, if you're still struggling, if you don't have control of your time, you're struggling with finance, you're struggling to pay your rent, your mortgage, you got to double down on wholesaling. There is no better time than right now in 2024. Because I'm going to teach you to do the opposite of what most other people do. See, most people freak out when they hear the word recession. I actually get excited. And the reason is I'm not going to do anything different in wholesaling. I'm just going to make subtle little changes. So I am doing the fundamentals that are going to get me through. Whenever I struggled, I did football and wrestling. I never really accomplished. Football was never my strong suit because I started late. I didn't start till my sophomore year in high school. And then coaches spent more time with me just doing the fundamentals. And it's burnt in my brain. Tackle, block, learn the plays. That's all I ever learned as a defensive. Tackle, block, shed the block, move on. Now, I did much more wrestling. Wrestling is pure fundamentals. You're never going to win and beat anybody with fancy moves as a brand new wrestler. So if you're a new wholesaler and you're listening to me, I want you to understand, stop all these fancy stuff because it's not going to win you the game of wholesaling. You know what wins in fundamentals of wholesaling? Connecting with motivated sellers, doing the fundamentals of wholesaling. So make sure you're taking advice. Guys, when you listen to it, if someone's not going to tell you how to fix it, don't listen to it. It's just a waste of time. Here, guys, this is the truth. I'm leaving a 5% variable because I do acknowledge there are people that have significant history in the wholesaling space, and I love them. Here's my challenge with some of those. And it's just my opinion, and I'm entitled to it. A lot of those people that even started when I did, they really don't do wholesaling anymore. And they're trying to tell you how to do it in today's modern world. And they have other income streams, and rightfully so, just like I do. But I'm one of these rare freaks that really enjoys wholesaling. Honestly, when people go, hey, I love wholesaling. Wholesaling has changed my life. I enjoy it. It fits perfect for my ADHD personality, and I love it for that. And if you have any challenges like I've had, like I was a terrible student. I was C+ at best. I was always respectful, but I never understood school all the way through college. And I was told, you're never going to get a good job. And thank God, I finally figured out my teacher was actually correct. I was never meant for a job. That's how I found wholesaling. Now, I sucked wind for 12 years trying to conform to what my father told me was right. And why I followed that man's advice is beyond me, but that's a whole nother story. But guys, the truth is 95% of gurus listen, it's not the word gurus. Anyone teaching wholesaling is, I can't understand when people tell you how to survive a recession, but they've never even slightly experienced themselves. So I'm always about, hey, watch what I do, ignore what I say. I really believe that. That's how I have to run my business, because honestly, I can listen to what every guru, other influencer says about me and Zach. I don't care. I really don't care. You're not my customer. And the day you agree with me, I'm probably going to have to switch tactics. So I respect people that put in a lot of time in wholesaling, And I just wish they'd spend more time to see what the real challenge is in wholesaling, as opposed to taking that 30,000 foot view telling you this is going to be illegal. You need to shift. You need to change now. Wait a minute. You had all the fancy rights as a wholesaler, and now you're telling me I don't have them. I don't believe in that. And I'm going to do everything in my power to give you the same advantages I had and other gurus, influencers before me. And it's up to me. I lose the word guru. I don't even understand how it gets in our business, but it's an accepted term. Now, here's another fact. So let's give a truth. Let's give another truth. Ricken has not only survived, I've thrived in real estate's worst recession ever. Guys, let me tell you, 2008 to 2012, it was brutal. And what did I do? I doubled down and I wholesaled. Even though I was scared, I was told it was never going to work. You need to bail. You need to go get a regular job. And when everybody was running from the fear, and by the way, it was real. It wasn't like what we're talking about today, guys. We've had like a 7% market correction. That's child's play. It's nothing. And by the way, I'm heavily invested in real estate, obviously real estate, but in the stock market too. Whatever. I took it on the lump, like whatever. You lose a couple $100,000 in a day. It is what it is. But I have a 10-year vision for like what I want to do, as well as you should. So people who buy stocks and like freak out in a day, you don't understand how markets work. So most of the time you're taking advice from financial advisors, which I call them financials brokers, which most of them are broke. And if you take advice from a broke person, you're going to wind up in their exact same shoes. So if we know this, let's keep going. Let's find ways to fix this. So I've always told you the guru meth, do what I say, not what I do. This is the problem with the internet. Anybody can say anything. We've seen this from politics and wholesaling and fix and flip. The reality is I can say whatever I want on this internet, and it's a pretty cool feature, but it's gotten problematic. So I want you to understand, do what I say, not what I do. That's everything you're getting on the internet. You need it the other way. Watch what people do and ignore what they say. Why? Because you can find a person's true intent, what they're doing. If they're just selling you, they're going to tell you everything's perfect. And if they actually want you to succeed, they're going to give you some tough love. Me and Zach do nothing but give you guys tough love. Let me ask you, have you ever seen me come on here and talk about how to sit here and like call real estate agents endlessly? Now, don't get me wrong. You can get deals from real estate agents. But as a beginner wholesaler, you're literally wasting your time with real estate agents. I don't know why it's even taught. It is more of an advanced strategy because you have to understand it. But I know why it's out there, because it seems super easy. Guys, I want you to understand this. If something's super easy up front, you're going to get smacked on the back end. Test this theory out on anything. How many of you guys go in the comments here and say, hey, listen, I bought a course. I thought it was going to be perfect. Everything was great. I gave him or her $5,000 or $7,000. And here I am 90 days later. I don't have a deal. Honestly, I'm more confused than I've ever been. And now I feel like I got burnt and I got a chip on my shoulder. That was me, guys. I did it. Oh, not only did I do it once, I did it over and over again. Find out most of the people, there's just a lot of people that don't know what they're doing. They have no idea how to really do wholesaling. And they think fix and flip is wholesaling. They think real estate investing is wholesaling. Wholesaling is a very fundamental niche skill, period. Has nothing to do with novations, nothing to do with creative financing. And somehow we've all blended it together. I will tell you this, wholesaling is the mother of all skills. End of story. So let's keep going here, because I got to actually give you stuff to fix the problem. Because here's what happened. Most people stop about this point, go, stop being scared, suck it up, just do it. Go get that money. What the hell am I supposed to do with that? That's not instruction. That's a motivational seminar. I'd rather you get it from Tony Robbins. Here's the truth, guys. I will put my reputation on it. Ricken does exactly what he teaches for 21 years. I don't have to fake this. You know why I'm so authentic? Because it's what I do. Like, there is no script. You will never, ever see a teleprompter in my studio. Why? Because when you tell the truth, you don't have to rehearse it. It's easy. It spits out every day. I talk to you guys in private. I talk to you in public. I talk to people in Flip with Rick Plus. It's the same thing. And those of you guys that meet me, because I do 2 live events a year because I love interaction, I am the exact same person every time. You ever met that person where like they seem really nice on the internet? You meet them in person, like, oh, hold on. I'm the fellow with the jacket because I have to command authority because I'm higher than you. I can't stand that person, man. Honestly, I would be very concerned where wholesaling would be without me and Zach in this industry, because you guys would never get a counterintuitive thought outside of like the industry. Now, don't get me wrong. I love anybody who's going to help and get someone excited about wholesaling, but we actually have to help people and we have to tell them the truth. And that's hard to do because it screws up your sales. I get it. If I was truly in to be an influencer and it was purely about money, I would have launched the course from day one, but I didn't. And to this day, let me ask you this. Who in the wholesaling industry gives away 100% of their material for free? Not, hey, I got a little bit of free information. After you do that, I'm going to knock you over the head. Go to freewholesaling.com, freewholesaling.com. Everything me and Zach have taught has been on the internet for 4.5 years. I've done nothing but upgrade it. I do not have a pull the veil back and I got a secret method. You pay me $5,000, $10,000. Why? I just think it's short-sighted. So if everybody's charging $3,000, $5,000, $10,000, why not do the opposite? Why don't we give out the absolute best information, show them how to get a deal, tell them the truth about the hard work, and then give them our best stuff so we can partner with people. Number 2, show me a guru that partners with students that don't even pay them and does a 50-50 deal. I don't take one dime up front. I've done 5 deals this week easily. And I'm partnering with everyone. We're all sharing the money. We're having a great time. Now, I have to keep bringing employees and it's getting fun and I'm learning a lot about how to grow a business, but I'm just telling you, man, I love it. And I was told by the coaching community, don't ever partner with students. It'll be a nightmare. You'll get screwed. Okay, let's do it. Don't ever give your information away. Charge a ton of money so you get filthy rich while having no obligation. Okay, I'll just give it away for free. Guys, I am an absolute rebel. I know I'm creating havoc in this business, but it's the change that is needed. We've got to stop doing stuff like it's back in 2003. You guys paying $3,000, $5,000, $6,000 for wholesaling courses? I am embarrassed. I don't understand it. Let me ask you this. If you went to church to learn how to worship whatever God you do you think there should be a $5,000 fee to learn how to do it? Now, I get it. We all donate and tithe, and I'm all about that. But the reality is, why are we doing the same thing in wholesaling? Like if I really want you to be financially free and I want to get freedom of your time, I want you to retire your mom, I want you to treat your wife like an absolute queen, wholesaling is the ticket to it. It's not for everyone. But I stand on this statement. You can do whatever you want. Anyone who knows that worked with me in 21 years, I have been, it's not that I dislike gurus. I just dislike the 95% failure ratio. So when someone goes to freewholesaling.com, if you think I overhyped it, you get into work, then you just quit. I don't rob and steal from you. Oh, well, let's just take money. People get, if you just want to take money from anyone that's going to pay you on a course, God bless you. I don't do that. I don't understand it. Why not partner with everyone? I get so many deals every week. Honestly, I had to shut down my JV program. We'll talk about it at the end here because I'm getting so many deals. Can you imagine any other guru? The problem is, the gurus, if they're not wholesaling, they can't JV with you. And that's the real problem here. So let's get that off. Now, let me just add another point here. And I am no better than anyone else. But I'm just telling you, when it comes to wholesaling, I walk the walk. It's what I do. I love it. I get crap because I give away free. Me and my son give stuff away free. Oh, boo-hoo. I know. Whatever. Then you can do it too. I invite everyone who has a course, give it out for free. Show them what you do. Show them the love. And if you help enough people, they will instantly help you back. Period. That's how the world's supposed to work. If I teach you, let me ask you, if I teach you about networking with other people, what do I teach? You have to give value first before you receive it back. So if I charge you $5,000, $6,000 for a course, did I really give you value? I don't know. We won't know until you get a deal. So if 100 people buy someone's course and only 3 or 5 succeed, I don't know if the value is there. Just saying. But it's the truth, guys. We have to understand this. The more we understand it, the better we can do. So I never expect anyone to agree with me and Zach's model. Me and Zach do not beat to anybody else's drum, and it drives people nuts. At some point, someone's going to embrace us. But guess what? The only people I want to embrace us are the people that actually want to win in wholesaling. End of story. That's it. Everybody else, I don't care. Remember, I tell you, stop worrying about what others think. Honestly, the more a guru goes on the air and talks about me and Zach, the better it is for us. I will never sit here and badmouth people directly, because if I have that big of an issue, I'll just pick up the phone and call them. But I do respect people in this industry. I just don't respect the way these coaching courses go. I think it's just ridiculous that people have payment plans and you're asking people to max out credit cards. It just drives me nuts. So here's the next one, guys. You ready? Rick Ginn, that's me, taught Zach Ginn, my son, wholesaling, which, by the way, my son's significantly smarter than me. He took his mother's brains, and I love him to death for it. But do you know how my son got into wholesaling? I didn't shove it down his mouth. I didn't say, you need to do this. I led him. How did I lead? I did it. I didn't go, oh, you can get so rich wholesaling, and I'm just going to make you a super, super person. I said, son, I do wholesaling. This is what I do. And I led. You know why? He used to go to houses with me. He was around it. Did I secretly hope he'd catch on? Yes. But I'm a father in that role. And so a father, one job is to lead your children. If you got 1 or 20 kids, I don't care. Your job is that child. And your job is to be fired and lead by example. If you tell your kid not to drink, you shouldn't drink. You tell your kid not to do drugs, you don't do drugs. You tell your kid to be fit and go to the gym, you go to the gym. So I'm just telling you, I did not shove courses and do all this stuff with my son. I broke it down simply how wholesaling worked. And that's when my best light bulb went off. And I tell you, people that go, oh, you put a golden spoon in his son out. Dude, I made it so brutal for him. It was painful. And if you ever watch your son struggle, so I've had the pleasure of watching my son wrestle from his first match to his last. And when you watch a child grow, there's something special that happens in life, because they struggle so bad in the beginning. And all you want to do as a parent is pull them off the mat. I had to restrain his mother from trying to save his baby. I go, this is how we build our future. This is how we build men and women. We let them fail. We let them express their emotions, and then we teach them how to harness it to be better in the future. So I led my son. So here's a myth. Ready? Gurus practice what they preach. Wow. That's what most of you think. The reality is very few do. Most gurus don't even wholesale anymore. They're so busy with their coaching programs. And listen, for the most part, they give good general advice, but it's not, if you're not in the fight every day and you're just talking, I don't talk about Airbnbs because it really has nothing to do with wholesaling. Nothing. It's short-term rentals. It's a whole different type of business. And to be honest with you, I'm still learning that business. I got some serious growing pains going on in it right now. Airbnbs has challenges, and I understand that. But if you actually had to vet what the actual guru does in their business all day, I think you guys would be surprised. So let me ask you this truth question. Ready? How many gurus have successful children wholesaling that actually wholesale today? Now, I'm not doing this, my daughter didn't pick wholesaling, so I'm just saying, but I can't find any examples out there where a father, a son, or daughter are all working together. And I'm talking at a young age. If you do it, so my wife worked in my business for a while. She didn't like it. Rightfully so. I made her do stuff out of necessity because I didn't have a lot of money at the time. So when I grow my business and my son, I led by example, and because I'm very interested in doing it, while he went to the University of Florida on a full ride, because he could have been anything he wanted to be. And he goes, listen, I want to be just like Dad. I just love what you do. How can I knock it? I felt more pressure on me at that point to make sure he was successful. But I'm going to be honest with you, know how I made sure he'd be successful? I made sure he experienced the fight of wholesaling. I never gave him anything. You guys know that I never bought my son a car. I didn't even pay for his college. And I get a lot of I get people in the family like, man, you're brutal. I go, you're going to figure this out, because if you pay for everything for your kid and you leave him a big fat inheritance, you're going to have problems, and you're going to create problems in your legacy and for the future. So if you do it the opposite way, kids want your time. They want you to lead. I'm just saying, I get it. I have other children that don't wholesale, but I don't see anybody else that practices what they preach, even with their own kids. Now, I'm hoping I can have influence and other gurus can bring up their kids and do it. But what I want to do is you guys can see Zach sat and fought 5 years in my business as a teenager. And that's why he is where he is. A lot of people think, oh, he got there because of his dad. No, dude, he was my business partner. He grew my sales so much. I didn't have a choice. And that's how you show extreme value. So, I want you to understand this right now. Wholesaling is about present moment in the time. So when we talk about recessions or downturns, I think the recession is completely overhyped, and you guys are being played again because it gets attention. Now, do I care if there's a recession going on wholesaling or not? No, I don't. But I'm going to show you the exact things I did during the last recession to make sure you have all the tools from someone who's actually survived and thrived during a recession, instead of everyone talking about, here's what you have to do. Do what I say, but don't watch what I do, because I don't do wholesaling. And that's one of the biggest problems going on. So if wholesaling is a present day time event, so what I love about wholesaling is it teaches you the gift of being present. So the word present is just like a gift that's present. If you are present, you can experience life. The reality is most of you get depressed or upset about past events that are already gone and have no more control of your life, and you let the subconscious memory burn you, or you have so much anxiety about what's going to happen in the future. If you have any of those, wholesaling is a great medication, because you have to deal with the present. That's all you have. There is no future. There is no past. I don't care what they sold for yesterday. This is what it's worth today. What's it going to sell for 6 months? I have no idea, but I'm going to find out what it's going to sell for in the next few weeks. You see, this is why wholesaling is my cure for ADHD. Now, I'm vulnerable, and I tell you, just because most of you have met me, go, yeah, sometimes, Rick, you just move. And it's just the way we are. You know what? God gave it to me for a reason. It found it through wholesaling, and I found you, so I don't regret it. I wish I could fix it, yeah, but I'm not going to medicate it. You do not want a medicated Rick. You don't need an amped up Rick either. So wholesaling is the day trading of real estate. So what do you care what the market does? You are operating on today's value, at most 30 days. So you don't have to worry about what is the market going to yield. You just have to make slight adjustments in a downtrend market. Understanding that. Now, let's talk about fix and flipping. And I want you to understand this distinct difference. Fix and flip is dependent on future market events that the flipper has zero control over. Does everybody understand that? What do I mean by that? It means when I buy real estate and I plan to do the rehab 3 to 6 months, and then I let it sit on the market 3 months, interest rates can change, economies can change, politicians can change, all the stuff that you don't control. Let me ask you, how many people like to do things and invest things where you have zero control in it? And the reality is that's how the stock market is to a point, and that's why people freak out when stuff doesn't go the way they planned on it. If you get sick and tired of other people controlling If you're looking at your 401k and it's depleting, it's because you gave permission to let somebody else run the ship. That's your own fault. I've done that too. Here's how you fix it. If you want to go in the wholesaling, you control everything. If you're a control freak, wholesaling is great. ADHD, wholesaling is great. I mean, honestly, I should run like a pharmaceutical commercial and just sell prescriptions of wholesaling to fix a lot of the common woes in America today. I don't know if I'm going to go that far. I'm going to get in trouble here. Okay. So if we know that we're dealing with the present time, now is the best time to wholesale. Not yesterday, not tomorrow, not 3 months from now. I was told in 2003, I don't know if I would wholesale today. Can you imagine thinking that back in 2003? And a lot of you are sitting there struggling with this decision today because you're watching these ridiculous videos. Is this a good time? Listen, if you can't time the stock market, you can't time wholesaling. You just have to get in and put the work together. Can I be any clearer in that? If you get one thing out of this video, that's what I want you to take from this. Now's the best time, guys. Why? Let's walk through the fundamentals of what the heck's going on right now. And this is where we're going to get down, and I'm going to give you the exact strategy. So just a lot of information, but we got to build up to it and let you know as I'm. So right now, does anybody doubt the Fed will lower the interest rates? They are. How they do it this year, I have no idea. Odds are it looks like September's pretty much a guarantee. I don't want to read between the lines here. This is not a Meet Rick video, but let's see. There's something coming up in November. What a convenient time to lower interest rates. Perfect. I'm not getting into it. I'm okay with interest rates dropping. I don't think they should benefit either party because it's ridiculous. I don't even talk about that. But when interest rates go down, what happens, guys? What happens when interest rates go down? Put in the comments. Tell me what happens when interest rates go down. And by the way, interest rates have been locked up, been climbing. I'm not even going to look at the chart, but it's been from 22. So for 2 years, just over 2 years, we've had a steady uptick in interest rates without one drop. And honestly, in reality, the economy really hasn't skipped a beat. We got problems, though, because that interest rate is tied into what we have to pay for our national debt, which I can't even discuss on this show. 35 trillion, it's out of control. But I'm going to show you how this ties in. So if we understand, we know interest rates, we could all pretty much guarantee 99% accuracy. Interest rates are coming down this year, and that's going to help. What does that do? It's going to free up inventory. We have had this vacuum locked of inventory in real estate. People have been stuck with their 3% interest rates goes, I'm holding on forever. It's kind of a ridiculous statement. Like, I'm just going to hold on no matter what. I have a 3% interest rates and rates are 6% and I'm going to be a millionaire. No, you're not. Like, it's just a rate, for God's sakes. It's temporary. Marry the real estate, date the rate. But so many people have married their incredible interest rate because it's their one time to actually feel rich. And you have to acknowledge it. This is how you all sold in the creative finance world. Just buy mortgages at 3% and you'll make a ton of money. No, if they're over leveraged and overpriced, it doesn't. If the interest rate's 0 or even -1, it still doesn't make sense to buy it. You got to do common sense in real estate. So understanding that once interest rates come down, those people that have been in what I call the vacuum locked, they're now going to make decisions to sell their property. How does that happen? Well, historically, inventory levels have been very, very low throughout the United States. Florida's really been freeing up the last 120 days. But what happens when Sally's now going to sell her house? Okay, I can do it. We can probably get it sold with a 5.5% mortgage rate, and I can eat the difference. That's fine because rates are going to lower. Sally puts it on. Johnny puts his property on the market, and all of a sudden a sea of properties come on the market. Inventory goes up. When inventory goes up, people have options, and then price wars start. So it's going to be good for real estate. The guys, this price increase, do you know prices have increased steadily since 2012. So we're in 12 years. This is an anomaly. It's never, I've been in real estate for a long time. This is not the norm. Usually goes up, down, and not like the stock market, much more gradual. But so when these interest rates go down, the people that go, oh, okay, well, the rates are getting closer. We're at 3.9 and we can get a new rate at 5.25. Let's go ahead and put it on the market. Well, what happens? Hundreds of thousands of people make that same decision. They're like sheep. Now, what happens to the buyers? Suddenly they can afford more home. There's price pressure because there's more inventory. And now you have a more robust market. Higher transactions, decisions are made. Guys, this is great freaking news. I'm super excited because we've had this lock going on for about 3 or 4 years. And the only thing that I can tie that has kept it all are these interest rates. You had low interest. We had record low interest rates. And now we have very high interest rates, higher than we've had in almost 40 years. And now all of a sudden they're going to meet. And I think it's going to be an explosion. It's good, guys. It's good. We need inventory. Think about this. If you had a grocery store and there was no inventory, what the hell do you sell? So the more inventory, the more opportunity. And that's where you got to look at the golden lining on this. You have to understand that. So this is our next fact, okay? Stock market. It's just uncertainty. People freak out. And now all you people with your Robinhood accounts, because your guru told you to go get a Robinhood account, which, by the way, means you're not trading directly to the market. You're doing it through a third-party intermediary. Why you do that? I mean, whatever, if it makes it easy. But when you get your instant updates on your phones, this is what creates like market freakout. And by the way, people buying at 20, 30, 100 times earnings, not normal. There is a new normal in stock markets, and people just trade because they get excited about stuff. But that same uneducated person buying stocks on, say, Robinhood or something like that, and I got nothing against Robinhood. I'm just saying I prefer you do a bigger intermediary, one of the big boys, so you buy stocks directly instead of through a third hand. But what happens is you get news instantly, people freak out, and they make fast decisions. And so with the speed of technology, markets react so much faster. They react overnight. And this goes for crypto and everything else. And by the way, any guru that did a special on crypto in the last 4 or 5 years, you got to seriously wonder why would we talk about, I only talk about wholesaling. And I know it gets redundant, but I actually enjoy it. You know why? Because it's what you need to make you successful. Me talking about crypto or an NFT or talking about meeting with real estate agents is a complete time waster. Guys, did I sell an NFT? No, it's stupid. Like, it's not that, it has nothing to do with wholesaling. It's not going to help you out. Did I talk to you about how to grease up a real estate agent so you can sneak past the assignability? No, it's going to be a nightmare. I'm telling you up front. Doesn't mean you can't do the deals, but starting out in wholesaling, that is not where you're going to want to start. That's the same thing of taking the new kid and putting him on the football team, put him in running back, put him in quarterback, never played the position, and go, listen, we're going to run the Wildcat. We're going to confuse the hell out of everybody. Kid's going to get killed. Looks sexy, sounds fun, looks great on paper. The kid's going to get killed. And that's what I see happening a lot on it. So now we have uncertainty in the stock market. This is the number one thing overriding this recession. Now, I will tell you, a recession's definition is really founded on unemployment jobs. But if you know anything about how the government reports numbers, the unemployment number is completely manipulated, just like the CPI, because they leave certain types of data out so it doesn't have as much impact on the numbers, like energy, food pricing, stuff like that. I'm not getting the part. But unemployment is steadily going up. It's been completely unrealistic for 4 or 5 years. I believe we've inched towards a 4. Once you get a 5 on a unemployment report, the government massively panics. So I think low 4s, 4.3. I'm not the last numbers. I don't look at this data every day because I'm too busy wholesaling. That's what I do. So we have stock market uncertainty. Unemployment is not going lower. It's going to slightly tick up. I'm not here to tell you the definition of recession because we're not in one. Can we go under one? Yeah, there's always a potential. That's just like the weather person tells me every day, it's 50-50, it's going to rain. Does that help me? No. And that's the problem, is the recession percentages changes based on the outcomes of each day. Think about that. That doesn't help you. So I'm going to throw in another wild factor, and I'm not going down this rabbit hole, but you need to understand it. What other pending issue could we possibly have coming up in this next quarter that could drastically affect people's fear of the unknown? What do you think that's going to be? Put it in the comments. What wild child things coming up? What could be possibly coming up in 90 days that has the entire world just occupied and like obsessed about it? And you got to be on team A or you got to be on team B. What is it? There you go. JP hit it. Elections. Now, I am not here to do a politics show. And by the way, any guru that wants to go deep on politics, please don't take advice from them, because they're just filling time, because they should be teaching what they're best at. If you're talking about politics and that's what you're best at it, then go get a politics channel. I'm not going to do it because I don't give a crap. At the end of the day, who's ever elected president, I'm still going to wholesale. Period. Doesn't mean I don't have an opinion about it, but I'm not going to waste time airing it out on here, because you guys already know who I am. You already know how I think. So it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure it out. So we have a potential for a bad biz president. I'm not going to let's not use names, stuff like that. But like, there's, either a president is pro-business, pro-entrepreneur, or they're pro-government. Government's completely out of control. I don't care what party you're in. If you don't agree with that, look at our deficit, 35 trillion. Our largest employer is the government, and it just grows out of control every year, double digit. It's a joke. Okay. So let's add one more pressure to it. This is the fun part. And then we are going to take the last half hour and deep dive and show you how to dig out of this mess, because this is the part we have to build up to it. So you all heard the word FUD. Let me know in the comments you know what FUD is, and please don't use any foul language, because I will delete you immediately. I'm like, I constantly have to keep looking this word up. So does anybody know what FUD means? Please put it in the comments, because I constantly have to remind myself. I go, who made up this terminology? What the heck does this mean? I don't understand it. And now after I've thought about it, I watched a few painful news cycles. It's very clear to me. So FUD simply means, let me see if somebody puts it up here. Kayla says, no idea. Okay. So I'll throw it up there. Here we go. Christian's got it right. Fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Like, we're literally making up words to freak people out. Like, seriously, FUD? Before I know it, they're going to have a doctor that treats you for FUD. It's going to be like PTSD. Fear. Fear is driven by the media. Fear is driven by gurus. Sorry, it's the truth. Uncertainty. Life is uncertainty. There's nothing certain about life other than really that you're only going to be on here for a certain amount of time. Some people don't even pay their taxes. So we always say tax and death, but honestly, some of you guys skip out on your taxes. Doubt. Doubt is created in you, nobody else. I don't understand the word FUD, but anyways, let's go with it. FUD is like, it's now a new emotion. And here's how I define FUD. It's just fear, period. Like, let's not try to make it more than it is. So if we understand FUD, you've got to understand this. Okay, let me jump back here. Inflationary pressures. So FUD is being fed to you by the mainstream. There's people like, I got to get clicks, so I got to tell you what to do in a recession, but I have no idea. I've never done a recession before, but let me just keep fueling what I keep seeing on the media. Like, get a brain. Like, stop this. So if we know that, obviously we have inflationary pressures. Guys, here's the word on inflation. I'm telling you, it doesn't matter who's president. It doesn't matter what their agendas are. Inflation, I'm here to tell you, is here to stay. Why? Because the government prints money like it's going out of style. We owe $35 trillion. Inflation, in my opinion, is going to be problematic until we get some sort of debt under control. So to beat our economy, what the government does is they keep printing money. So like anything else, imagine if I could manufacture homes and just throw them in the market. We could keep prices around $5,000 a house. But at some point, the bill has to be paid. We are steadily approaching that point. I'll let you know when it gets there. But if someone doesn't take drastic action, so the inflation pressures, they're here to stay. Why? Because we keep printing more and more money. This is why everything costs so much money. Do you guys really think your house goes up in value? Like, wrap your head around this for a second. Does your house go up in value? It doesn't. The dollar is just worth less and less. Hopefully, we'll keep honoring the dollar, but as long as it's good, we'll be fine. How do I beat inflationary pressures? Create a crap load of money in wholesaling and then buy real estate. Because if the cost of steel goes up, lumber goes up, drywall goes up, every type of product, wiring that goes in the house, they're all bought with what? Money. And the more money in circulation, the more you're going to pay for it. So you might as well go out and own the biggest asset possible. So inflation goes up 5 or 6%, your house will probably go up 10%. And that's why we're in a position where the average house in the United States is $426,000. That's the average, guys. It's crazy if you think about it. So inflation's here to stay. I don't think it's ever going to go away. I don't think we'll ever even smell a hint of 2%. And if we get a bad biz president, you're going to sniff from 7 to 9%. You're going to have to find something to offset it. Now, right now, if you've been parked in cash in the last 2 years, if you're not buying T-bills or found an aggressive money market, your money's going backwards. If you're not getting 5% on your money parked, you're losing money. And most people don't understand this. And this is one that really drives me nuts. So you have to understand that. So inflation, in my opinion, in the next 10 years, I don't see anything. I just see it getting worse. So how do you counteract it? You have a wholesaling business. And then once you grow and get capital, purchase assets at a discount price and create cash flow so you can take advantage of inflationary pressures and get the benefit of the IRS tax code for depreciation, bonus appreciation, depreciation. I'm not going to get in like the whole nuances of it, but it's pretty freaking cool. So the more money you make, the more you've got to read the rules. So remember I told you the game on Monopoly. Have you ever played someone that read the rules to Monopoly? They will kill you every time. Here's the differences. Wholesaling, you're learning the rules. Once you master wholesaling, you can master all the rules of the IRS and what our beautiful federal government allows you to write off. And then you can be that person who goes, I pay little to no taxes. And then your friends will go, how dare you? It's so un-American. No, I put millions back in people's pocket. I read the tax code and they say if I make investments back and I own real estate, which basically employs people, then I get the tax advantages. And keep in mind, you go out and buy your car, right? What happens when you buy a car? You buy a car 50 grand. You sell it in 5 years. What's it worth? 20? And you can depreciate the car if you own it in a business. Or you take it off and you write off on your cost basis. Now, I buy a piece of real estate in my business. It's worth 300 grand. I go out and get a loan. I put down 40, 50 grand. I generated wholesaling, right? I'm not telling you to do fix and flip. I think it's the worst idea in the world in a recession. Terrible idea. Horrid. I buy that asset and then your accountant, whoever gives you good advice, says, hey, Rick, we're going to depreciate that asset. Let me get this straight. But it doesn't depreciate. He goes, I know, but you have the ability to depreciate it. So on that, if it's a regular home, you have 27 and a half years. If it's commercial, it's 39 years. You take the cost of it and you deduct it. So in this example, if that was a home, say you were renting it out or doing a rental, whatever, short-term rental, 300,000. Let's just do 27. That means you get $11,111 back on your taxes each year for the next 27 years. If that's not good enough right there, if you come back to the property in 10 years and it's worth double, it appreciated. So I'm able to depreciate an asset that appreciates. If this doesn't blow your mind in real estate, I've never seen anything this incredible. And there's so many other tricks to the trade. Guys, I'm telling you, I got this way by developing an enormous amount of cash flow through wholesaling. And then I took that cash and I invested in assets that paid me. Now, anyone who tells you you could take a wholesaling operation and you could sell it, and dude, I do this 21 years. There's no selling. You can sell anything, but anyone who knows a lick about real estate knows the wholesaling operation is the operator and their systems. And once those people are removed, you're probably not going to get the value of that asset. The value of your wholesale operation are the assets you acquire and the cash flow, period. Is it a job? Absolutely. Never denied that. Can you stay in wholesaling? Absolutely. So many people tell you get out of it so hard afterwards. If you're really good at wholesaling, you would run a business and that business would pay forever. Why would you ever sell a business that just generates cash over cash? 9 times out of 10 people who tell you they sold a wholesaling, I've looked into every one of them. And the ones that I've always questioned, they will never, ever share the books with you. Because I go, listen, if you sold it so much, you'd have it all over the internet. And that's the end of the story. The reality is they're never what they say they are. I know an example of a recent business. I'm not going to share names here. They bragged all about it was sold in the internet. It was just an amazing deal. Huge millions of dollars. Nobody ever shared the numbers. I found the domain sitting on a GoDaddy website. $10 million business. How am I able to buy the domain? I didn't buy it because I don't want a conflict of interest, but like I found out it got sold 2 or 3 times. And what happens is once it left the original operator, it was worthless. And that anyone who tells you can sell your wholesaling business, you're flat out being lied to. Do not buy into that one. Can you sell it? It is. But like once you switch the operators, that passion, that drive, the energy they do, that is the business. And it's very hard to duplicate with someone else. You can set up systems, but eventually 9 times out of 10, it is going to fail. That was like a bonus one. I didn't even throw that one in there. So you got a choice here, guys. All this talk I'm talking about, it just creates opportunity. And opportunity is where you make money. So you got a choice here. You can attack or you can fold. There's a group out there which they say you can either be a lion or a sheep. You guys know who I'm talking about. Not a pretty cool, but like it's right. Which you're going to be? You're going to be a sheep. You're going to follow everyone. Oh my God, I'm scared. Oh my God, there's a recession. I'm going to follow him. I'm going to follow her. I go, crap. You've only been wholesaling 4 or 5 years. You don't even know what a recession looks like. It pisses me off. So I have got to teach you to strengthen yourself to stop being scared. That's the bottom line here. Stop being scared. So if you can embrace a moment like this, which by the way, I don't believe we're in a recession. We've had a blip. So now we call a blip a recession. Oh, well, we got to do all these scare pieces. And what do we do? How do we wholesale? You don't redo wholesaling. You do it. You just do it every day and keep it going. That's the secret that you're never going to find in a guru course. They're going to give you fancy softwares and they're going to tell you AI is going to take care of you. Don't get me wrong. It's going to help you. But at the end of the day, it ain't going to do all the work for you. So are you going to attack or are you going to fold? A lot of you watch these news cycles. You watch all the stuff on the internet and you're like, oh my God, is the world coming to an end? Guys, we got a lot of crisis going on there. We have a presidential election that's in turmoil. We have people that never got a vote that could potentially be the president. I didn't even know you could do stuff like this. And it's like you feel a little bit powerless. So here's how you take your power back. You actually apply and control your own economics. Because at the end of the day, you control your world. Control what you control. Marcus Aurelius says it best. Obsess over the things you can't control and let the other stuff do what it's going to do. I know I just butchered that, but if you guys want to give me a quote, I love Stoicism because it's about be the man that you need to become and stop talking about it. So we're at this point in this conversation. Make a decision here. You're going to attack or you're going to fold. If you're going to fold, turn this off right now. There's plenty of guys who'll tell you how you give them $5,000 and they'll show you how to figure it out because they've been through a recession. What they don't understand is the recession is a blip. What you're going through right now, here's the honest truth. It's just a blip. It's not a recession. It's a joke. A recession is when you all start getting laid off. Companies are laying off people left and right. Now, there are hints of it, but we're not there. We're not even there. So make a decision right now. Put in the comments, are you going to attack or are you going to fold? I'm sick of it. And if you're teetering on the fence, shut me off. This is not an Andrew Tate video, guys. This is like, let's take control of what we can do and stop worrying about all the other crap we have no control over. Because that's how you get massive amount of anxiety. That's how you get depressed. And you don't need medication. You don't need anything. You just need a good old dose of wholesaling. End of story. You have got to attack. I was sitting on the fence in 2008-9 when it happened, and I kind of tried to do both. And I finally attacked, and I nailed it. But I tormented myself for months trying to figure out what to do. At the end of the day, you have to make a decision, and you're in control of your own environment. So here's what's going to happen now, guys. When you get uncertainty in the real estate market, the money will move to real estate for safety. Why? Properties don't drop value overnight. You can't liquidate them fast. They are not passive income. But when people freak out in the stock market, they love real estate. And this is the buyer's thing I've been telling you about. When people suddenly get a 7, 8, 10% hit in a real estate market, in a stock market, they will seek safety. Now, you can go buy government bonds. You can buy T-bills, which is still attractive. But let me ask you, once the interest rates start dropping, T-bills aren't going to be overly attractive anymore. Who wants 3%? Give me 5.25% all day long. I'll park so much damn money in there because it's safe. It's guaranteed. I can churn it in 24 hours. This is beautiful. But when it starts to drop, I'm going to have to make decisions too. Now, I'm real estate heavy. You know that. I'm way too real estate heavy. But I love real estate because it's always there. I can always touch it, feel it. And for that reason, I believe we're going to have a nice buyer's bump here. So remember, on the buyer side and the seller side. So remember, real estate is an asset. Real estate cash flow. Real estate has tax incentives. That's why people really want to do it. So now we're going to dive into what we need to do to fix this. How do I do it? Number one, stay in the wholesaling. If you're new here, go over to freewholesaling.com. What I'm going to do is just bounce it on the bottom. Now, no, I'm not going to do it because I don't want to distract you because this is an important message. Freewholesaling.com, you get it. Now, I'm here to tell you guys that this is going to get really interesting. Okay, how do I say this? Gurunomics into wholesaling is here. What do I mean by that? That's right, Gurunomics is here. You guys have been sold everything under the sun for the last 12 years. Do you understand that? Gurus don't even deny. I've never seen such options and products, and it's like, and then everybody keeps bumping their prices up and this, and it's like, you guys are overwhelmed. And what I love about a recession is you all get a wake-up call. You are in Gurunomics. You're being pounded left and right. Do you know if you tag yourself as a new wholesaler, you are a target? I mean, you are like bullseye. Do you see that guy in the Olympics just sitting back with like his little glasses, just pop, 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 and just doing amazing? And everyone's got all these scopes, these special rifles, and these outfits. I'm telling you, man, they're out to hunt you. So let's talk about what we need to do. So Gurunomics is basically means you're being attacked from all sides, being offered. And honestly, when everyone's making money, everybody loves a guru, right? Ooh, they're going to show me a trick to make a ton of money. You all better wake up because I think that the Gurunomics is going to have some explosions on here. So we need to understand that. So what do? This is the easy part. You all think right now, I'm going to give you this miracle cure, and I'm not. I'm just going to give you a good old-fashioned dose of the truth. Number one, it's so simple, it drives me nuts. I challenge with doing that. Fundamentals of wholesaling. You've got to understand the fundamentals of wholesaling. Remember, when I struggled in football, when I struggled in wrestling, I had to sit there and just do fundamentals for hours on end. Why? Because I got too cute. I watched too much WWF. I watched too much Nick Bosworth linebacker videos. At the end of the day, guys, I just had to learn the basics. I had to learn to size up my opponent, drive through the hips, and the lowest point wins. Are you going to do that in wholesaling? You go to Gurunomics, they'll sell you everything you need to know, but I'm telling you, it's not going to fix your problem. You got to learn the fundamentals of wholesaling. Next one, brutally important. You only focus on motivated sellers. Guys, cut this real estate agent crap out. I'm not saying you can't get deals from real estate agents, but let's be honest. Most of you are somewhat new to wholesaling. It's crazy that you're going to go steal real estate agents when you're just trying to understand the terminology of wholesaling. Remember, real estate agents want to sell nice, pretty houses that are in good shape. I know they get some beaters in here and there. They want the highest price. You can never talk to the seller, and it is on open market for the highest bid. You tell me how you derived that you thought you're going to get a good deal by doing that. I'm not saying you can't. As a beginner, it's crazy. But you guys bought record amounts of courses. You know why? Because it sounds perfect. You know why? Here's the truth. It's easy up front. I get the realtor's name. I get their phone number. I get the pictures. Rick, I got the price. I got everything. I got the phone number. I didn't have to skip trace it. This is great. I found a course. He or she showed me how to do it. It's great. Hey, call me in 3 months. Let me know how it works out. Every time without fail. Yeah, I didn't get anything. Yeah. Shocker. And let me ask you, when you get it, how are you going to get around the deposit, which you're not? How are you going to get around the assignability? You're not. And how are you going to get around the funding? You're not. How are you going to get around putting them in your title company? You're not. You see, it sounds so sexy. That's why they sell courses for this. And I've been the sucker to buy stuff like this too. I know how to deal with real estate agents. I'm very selective who I deal with. I don't want to waste time. If you call 1,000 real estate agents, I guarantee 800 of them are going to kick you in the teeth. So why set you up for failure? Don't get me wrong. There are wholesale properties on MLS. It's a needle in a haystack. And if you want to drive yourself out of the business and it sounds super easy, go for it. It's not going to work, especially as a beginner. Motivated sellers only. How do I get motivated sellers? Go to freewholesaling.com. It's free. I'm not selling you anything. And stick to the government list. Do driving for dollars and do reverse driving for dollars. I tell you exactly how to do it. Remember, I show you exactly what to do. I don't tell you what to do. I show you what to do. And I also reinforce it with a live like this. Okay. So we all know about Gurunomics, right? Don't ask me how I came up with the word. That stuff just pops in my head because of all the videos I get and the offers I get in emails. So if we know about Gurunomics, meaning everyone's out to sell me as a new wholesaler, I want you to hear this statement loud and clear. Please hear me loud and clear. Get rid of non-essential tools for wholesaling. That's right. I'm sorry. A lot of you guys have too much crap that you've bought. And I apologize if I've insinuated it's going to make you a superstar wholesaler. Don't get me wrong. I'm all about tools that'll help you. But here, guys, I'm telling you right now, if you don't have a deal, you've never done a deal, and you have multiple versions of tools, software, stuff like, get rid of it. I'm telling you, I did 5 years of wholesaling. I never, ever had a piece of software ever. I know I'm old. I started a long time ago, but I'm just telling you, they are to help you. But if you can't help yourself, the software alone is not going to do it. I don't care how perfect it is. So start taking inventory of who you're paying, who you're spending your time with, and the amount of fancy technology tools you have. Start finding things that will actually get you traction. Period. Cut the crap. This is the part where I'm going to tell you to cut the fat. Cut the fat out of the meat right now. That's the best thing you can do in a recession. It means just get leaner and get better. I never said stop wholesaling. That's where people are like, oh, watch my video, stop wholesaling. It's going to be illegal and you can't do it. And I'll show you a way. It's crazy. Now, the next one is probably my favorite one, and I'm going to reinforce it. Guys, if I have to go in overtime, I'll go in it. I'm here. You have to go for no. I've been preaching from the choir for 7 years on this. The Go for No. If you don't know what I'm talking about, please go over to freewholesaling.com. I'll show you exactly how to do it. Go for No will assure you get the best deal possible. Did I say use Go for No and don't talk to people? Yeah, that's what most wholesalers try to teach their courses on. Go for No is a tried and true tactic. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it means when you make your first offer, it should be rejected. End of story. If not, you're probably going to overpay for the property and you're just going to keep leaving money on the table. Help people out. Call it a lowball. I don't care what you call it. It's the truth, guys. Are you going to sit there and dance with a real estate agent for like 4 hours and pay just a little bit below retail? No, you need to be down here. Here's retail. Here's you. It should be a ginormous gap. I can't explain this to you any better than what I'm doing now. Guys, this is my like State of the Union address at this point. Like, I'm just trying to tell you, you have a blip in the market. Stop freaking out. But everything I'm telling you, like this always holds true. I never waver. I've been doing this 21 years. I never waver on this stuff. Everyone's like, well, should I use Go for No on this deal? I don't know. Are you going to do how I lead, or are you just going to like make crap up as you go? Next one, cash buyer intel. It's absolutely required. So many of you, honestly, if you started wholesaling in 2013, 14, you were told that buyers are a dime a dozen. They're trash. You just need one. Don't worry about them. That crap has blown up in your face. And everybody who taught that is no longer in the business. It's true. There was a famous guru company that they just said, don't be an employee to the cash buyer. What the hell does that mean? I don't ever want you to be an employee to cash buyer, but you have to service them. Do you know at the end of the day, your customer is the cash buyer. So why would you treat them like trash? I don't want you spending hours with them, but you do have to get to the point. You got to be professional and you got to be courteous. You got to be a human being. And when you kick people to the curb, they remember it. And after a while, it's going to catch up with your reputation. I know people in my market that done that. They're begging to sell properties right now because nobody wants to buy from them because it's always a show. It's ridiculous. Don't be greedy. You know how the saying goes. Sometimes I mix it up. Someone can put it in there. What's the saying? Pigs get slaughtered, something greedy. Okay. So we're moving along here. So we understand that. Next one. Gurunomics. I'm back on it again. I misspelled this one. You get the point. Avoid the traps. What do I mean by the traps? You guys, for the last 5 to 7 years, have been fed such crap. I'm sorry. If you do this, then take accountability for what you do. I'm just telling, it's in the market. Right now, I'm going to put some up here. So number one, if you do novations, if you have secret methods, we have creative financing. I have no problem with creative financing. I just don't think it's a strategy to avoid wholesaling. That's where we get it mixed up. Novations has nothing to do with wholesaling. If you're in the state of Florida, it's almost, I'm not saying impossible to novation. Title companies want nothing to do with them. They're a huge liability. And by the way, there's only 3 major insurance companies that insure title insurance. I'm not a title guy because I actually do wholesaling. I leave title to the guys that want to do the paperwork and gals. And they're needed. Don't get me wrong. But you have to understand, novations have nothing to do with wholesale. It's just a trick. And by the way, the loophole's being closed and they're actually being regulated like with wholesaling. In my opinion, novations have actually made wholesaling worse. We've gone the wrong direction because we tried a cute little trick and they have a high failure ratio. Oh, but Rick, I don't have to wholesale anymore. I just do novations. Okay, great. Let me know how long that lasts. Oh, Rick, I bought this guy's secret method. They call it XYZ. I don't care what they call it. They just rebrand it. Now, here's the funny part. I used to kind of make fun of hard money. I'm actually telling you hard money can actually work because here's the problem. You get past your costly courses and masterminds, which I already told you to cut the fat out. If you're paying like 5, 10 grand for courses, you guys are like, I don't understand. Like, what do you think it's going to buy you success? It's not. You still got to do the work. Right now, there is what I call guru funding tricks. Sorry, they're out there everywhere. I'm offered it every day. Hey, because wholesaling is illegal, I'll fund your deals so it qualifies, and then you can do your deals and get it done. Read the fine print, guys. I just read one of the fine prints. Check it out. 3 points up front. Why wouldn't you just get hard money? Why do I need that? You got 90 days to turn the property over, or you default and the lender gets it back without a foreclosure, which means you don't have a lot of rights. And by the way, if you do a fix and flip in under 90, you think you're going to get everything done in 90 days. It's not, they're not all going to go that way. Here's the best part is, now you don't have to make interest payments. Oh, that's, woo. You got to fund the 3% up front. So if you have $300,000 property, you owe $9,000 up front. And you have to get an inspection on the property, which you have to pay through a service. I get that. That makes sense. Here's the best part is, you also owe 25% of the proceeds to the lender. Now, that's just one example. I've seen them from 20 to 35%. Guys, in that case, just go get hard money. Skip these guys. It would be cheaper to get hard money than to do these funding things. These funding things are getting out of control. And they're all trying to tell you wholesaling is going to be illegal. And they're just steering you towards a mechanism. You're smarter than this. So if you truly want to do that, I'm not a big fan of hard money, especially as a beginner. If you guys just do assignment of contracts, you'll be fine. But do you really think all these new alternative funding options, they're much more strict than hard money? At least you have time to get the property sold. 90 days, guys, is a very, very tight window. That's what I do my wholesales in. And I've exceeded them before. So I've been doing this 21 years. You guys really think? And guys, say a recession comes. If you get one of these guru funding things, you're done. And by the way, you know why I know it's a thing is because I'm being offered affiliates to promote it for them. Jesus, that's interesting. How much money are you making that you're going to give me a big cut of it? All I got to do is do an introduction. Guys, you will never see that on the show ever. So what I'm telling you is hard money is actually making more sense than the guru funding options, because at least the hard money, you pay points between 1 and 4 points, and then you pay an interest rate, and there's usually a prepayment guarantee. 25% is a steep price. I don't care what you say. But 90 days, you're setting people up for failure. Sorry. And then I would venture to say if it went past 90 days, there's going to be like huge financial penalties, and it just drives me nuts. Guys, all this stuff you see on the screen, just skip it and do wholesaling. It will cure all your problems. You can go and do other things. If you want to do some of the things, do it, but just understanding these things are not the cure to wholesaling. They are just a secretive course, and you're being driven in there by telling things are being outlawed and you got to do it this way. Guys, you can go to hard money. There's plenty of hard money lenders that'll give you much better terms than what you're ever going to get from a guru funding thing. Just drives me nuts. And they're so quick to have you sign paperwork, it scares me. So, and listen, if you have to go to a webinar or a seminar, you're paying too much. That's just the reality of it. So I'm going to give you a Rick King quote. You ready? Attack what fears you the most. It has just worked in my life. And if you understand that, whatever fears you, run towards it. Now, I'm not saying if you see a crocodile and its mouth's open to run towards it, you got to put common sense into this. So don't take this out of context, which I know somebody on YouTube eventually will do. But you have to understand, if it scares you, deal with it. Because the more you avoid it, the bigger it becomes and it takes you over. And for that reason, guys, I'm here to tell you, let's stop freaking out about you are in a blip. And the modern day wholesaler, which are people that have had nothing but a 12-year pure, incredible wave. And don't get me wrong, I rode the wave too, but I've been on that down wave. And not only did I survive, I thrived. So get rid of the essentials, guys. If it ain't helping you, cut it loose. I don't care. It's the truth. Sometimes you just got to get down to the core and get stuff done. And if you got to do it with a pad and a paper and just a cell phone and a laptop, do it. Get some money into that and then choose. And make sure people bring products that actually solve your problem, that are competitive We have been so lazy for 20 years in wholesaling. I'm tired of it. Wholesaling, freewholesaling.com changed the game. And I'm here to tell you guys right now that if you want to change it, now's the time to do it. You got to just stop doing the same old, because it's not going to change. So I'm going to put it right here on the screen, freewholesaling.com. Yes, it's free. I invite any guru to put your current course you're charging 5 to 10 grand and put it out to the public. Yeah. Why not? If it's so good, you're going to get so many deals off of it and everyone's going to make so much money. The reality is you can get rich a lot faster by selling courses. The odds are you probably won't survive. I mean, you will if you're screwing up people, but there are some legitimate courses out there. I'm not putting everybody in it, but like if you don't have a lot of experience, you haven't survived recessions, you haven't like stood the fight in wholesaling, please stop telling people how to survive a recession. It's irresponsible and it's just a flat out lie. So here's what we're going to do. I've already done an inflation buster. I already give my crap away for free. Freewholesaling.com. So what we could do to help Gurunomics is have gurus put their stuff out for free. Don't put a smidget. Don't do a little one. Make the whole thing transparent without a credit card. You do that, I will take my hat off to you. I'll even endorse it. How's that? I'd have to look at it, but at least with my stuff, you have something to compare it with. And we do it the other way. So if we could all start and do inflation busters, economy busters, if gurus really want to help you, give the stuff away for free and do deals with them like me and Zach do. That's how you know the stuff's for real. I don't care. Like, I know I'm going to get crap for it. I just don't care. I don't subscribe to that model. Can it help people? Yes. But on average, it's going to hurt more people than it helps. It's the truth. Those aren't my numbers. Those are the statistical numbers I've gotten from other gurus, and they all admit it. And they go, listen, it's not always our fault. I agree, but maybe we should just provide better course. So start it free. So what else can we do? I told you to cut down the fat. I got freewholesaling.com up here. And here's what I'm going to do. If you stayed with me then, God bless you. I appreciate you. I'm going to give you a little bit of bonus. So if you see X's behind me here, August 15th, 5 p.m. Eastern time, you better be here. Now, I have not had a lot of urgent posts before, but I'm telling you, Zach will be here with me. We've been working on this all of 2024, all of 2024. So we've had a vision from the day we started what we want to do. And number one is just make wholesaling accessible to everybody. We've accomplished it. Thank you. We have, I think we've had over 500,000 users go through our course, the number one wholesaling course out there. And honestly, it's free. It's crazy. So awesome. We also launched the Flip with Rick Plus, where we do JVs with people. We've done people off freewholesaling.com. We had to shut down our JVs. Like, you guys overwhelmed us. And it's a good problem to have, but sometimes we have to pull back and create systems to help us out. So August 15th, if you tune in, it's called Project X. You're going to hear little hints of it dropped. Guys, if you think we shook the world with freewholesaling.com, you're going to be blown away with this. Like, I am so excited, and it is exactly what you need. And if you guys subscribe to me and Zach's philosophy, you'll know where we're going with this. I am going to get down and cut to the brass tack tools that you need to be successful a wholesaler. And I can't say anymore because I promised Zach I'd keep my mouth shut and it'd be quiet. Now, I will tell you this. If you are in Flip with Rick Plus, you will have early access to this. Now, this is going to put money in everyone's pocket. End of story. End of story. It's going to be phenomenal. It's going to be exactly what the marketplace needs. We're so tired of everybody telling us how wholesaling needs to go. We have a big enough voice. We have a loud enough crowd. We have you guys, which are awesome. I'm going to give you exactly what you've always asked for. I can't let the cat out of the bag. I know I'm leaving it on the edge here, but I'm just telling you, August 15th, 5 p.m. Eastern, you be here. And I promise you, I will not only bust Gurunomics, I will give you a recession-proof strategy, tools that you can use that you all have been stuck. And I can tell you guys are pissed because you guys tell me every day. You've told me for 4 years. And let's just say on August 15th, the whole thing is going to be solved. It's going to be as big as freewholesaling.com. And you guys are going to just go, oh my God, finally somebody has figured it out. So I now have the resources. We have the audience. And most important, we're going to fix a problem. I'm tired of everybody's prices going up on everything. We have to stop it. It's going to start with us. Not only do I give stuff away from free, I'm going to find a technique to put money back in your pocket that you guys are spending every month. That honestly, there's a dirty little secret that comes with it. I'm just going to leave it at that. So Project X, you'll see us drop some little tidbits on it. All I ask you is August 15th, 5 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you set a time and you be here. I promise you, I will not disappoint. I will change your life with it. It's up to you. I know it's going to make a lot of people upset in the industry. I just don't care. And I'm going to do what everybody wants. I will buck the trend. We will do the complete opposite because at the end of the day, all I do is care what you guys think. If you guys really understand how we operate, this is going to be a blast. So August 15th, here's the good news is if you're in Flip with Rick Plus, you know I share everything ahead of time with you guys. I guess swear you guys to secrecy if we do it. And everybody knows in the crowd. So I'm going to jump on to Flip with Rick Plus. If you want to work with me and Zach, spend more time with us. It's not a requirement. And we have a free way to get in there, which I invite every other guru to do. Everybody always starts at freewholesaling.com. I want you to earn some money. And when you get some money, if you want to partner up with us and do deals together and get our not one-on-one attention, we do a community. As I said, anyone who teaches one-on-one wholesaling coaching, I don't know if I would work with that person because that doesn't even make sense to me. One-on-one? How much time do you have? So we do a community. I absolutely love it. Me and Zach share, and we go on 4 times live a week, probably about 2 or 3 times more than anybody else does it. And I love it. So Project X, I will be sharing more and more. I promise you, it is going to be worth the wait. So we've been working on this a long time. A lot of time, resources, and money have been spent doing it. And we're bringing it because the market wants it and it needs it. And Project X will share more. So guys, you have a formula for recession proof. It's a blip. Even if a recession comes, go back and replay this to the last section. I explained the exact things you need to do. If you follow that strategy, you won't steer wrong. If I can survive 2008 to 2010 on that, imagine what you can do from 2024 and beyond. Guys, this is Rick Ginn. I will be back on Thursday with Zach. And then I will see you again on August 15th, 5 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you pencil in, and we're doing a special time so people can get off work. We can talk to them. And I want to make sure everybody has the same availability for it. So I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. And if you're on Flip with Rick Plus, give me 5 minutes and I'll be right over there. See you guys. Project X. See you.